What's up, everybody? It's Moral back with another video, and this time, that is a lot of props and decorations and stuff that I don't want to see. Today we are in a new game. Well, new for the channel, not new for me or the world. Most people probably know what game this is. We are in Planetzoo on a little tour here of a zoo I've been working on since about November. It is a ZSU zoo, which is a community on Discord. It's really fun. There is a kind of an animal trading system, and it's a lot more management side things than the game I feel like provides, and it's really fun, and I'm probably explaining it poorly, but that's the basic idea. It's you can trade with other players. It's almost like a better version of the online mode. I can't remember the name of it because I don't play enough of it. But I'm just going to show you guys around, and hopefully this opens the door for me to make more content in Planetzoo. We are here at the entrance, and aside from all of this random stuff placed over here, as long as you look this way, it's better. We come up on a pretty basic looking entrance, and the idea here, I was emulating the Birmingham Zoo in Alabama, their original entrance before they had a renovation, because this is a pretty small zoo right now, so I thought it would fit if we just sort of did that. And over here, there's a small gift shop. I really feel like it definitely could use some improvements. It's definitely nothing special. This is not a crazy good looking zoo, but it's just a fun little project I build in whenever I feel like it. So we're gonna come right in here where we will have an entrance that is pretty much just, I don't know what to do with it, and I just leave it and I don't ever edit it. And once you come here, you have a path to the left and to the right. We're gonna start this way because this is what I built first thing when I first did it. Now, ooh, that's not good. Let me just go ahead and do that. Anyways, so the way the ZSU works is you start with 10 starter species. You can use less, but the max is 10. I don't remember how many I had. I think it was 10. But our first species that we introduced were these spotted bass, which are really cool. And this is obviously modded. This is not vanilla. This isn't vanilla or anything. This is modded. That way I can have fish and stuff. Clearly, you can tell that these are not in the actual game. And if you come up here, come around here, there's a little area. It probably would not look like this in real life, but there's some liberties had to be taken because, you know, the fish are on a reptile rig. But yeah, I was pretty happy with this when I first built it. Now, looking back, there's probably some improvements I could make, but overall, not bad. These are the spotted bass. They look pretty cool. I think that for the most part they work pretty well. Sometimes they kind of are a little weird with their animations, but overall, a pretty solid thing. So coming in here, we have this little side entrance here, which I haven't really built anything here yet to connect it, but here we have a little restaurant, a little cafe even, where people can come in and order whatever. It's not too detailed or anything. I'm not a pro at this. My expertise is definitely more in prehistoric kingdom when it comes to building stuff. But yeah, I thought it looked pretty decent at the time. Looking back, definitely still some stuff that can be improved upon. A few workshop items here, just to kind of fill in space. And there's some bathrooms over here. Also, there are a lot of workshop items. I'm sorry, I can't really remember every single one I did, so shout out to everyone who made them. But I'm not gonna be able to remember every piece that is a workshop item or not. I try to not use everything workshop items, but for little like props and stuff, they definitely are helpful. So I tend to use those more so for things like water fountains, you know, trash cans, stuff like that. But yeah, right here This is a splash pad, which is currently closed due to the season. It's got a little grunge in it. And the idea is basically, if you're a kid, you come here, you splash around for a little bit, your parents watch, and then you go and look at animals, which is something they have in the Birmingham Zoo. A lot of inspiration for the Birmingham Zoo in a lot of the builds here. Just because it's like my local zoo, the one I go to the most often. So, and as its name implies, this is set in Alabama in the Mobile Bay area. Basically, everything here is kind of local to Alabama and the Mobile Bay, which is an interesting thing, which also adds restrictions to certain animals in the ZSU system. So, like, I couldn't exactly have reindeer or anything because it's way too hot for them. Stuff like that. It was just interesting. It gives you limitations and realistic ones at that, which I really enjoy. So, moving on over here, we have our, I think they're long-nosed gar. Let me look. Yeah, long-nosed gar. Not alligator gar, long-nosed gar. And I have a couple of them in here. They're quite interesting. These were also some of our starter species. They are smaller than the alligator gar, but they are still pretty impressive in size, so they're pretty cool here. Once again, the backstage is nothing special. You just kind of come up here, where you can see the fish that float, like they do in real life, clearly. So, coming back around, we'll go this way. I'm not the best at mixing areas like this, especially like trying to look realistic. So, right here, there's a fence that ends abruptly. There's a small shed over there I built. It's nothing special. It's not even, it doesn't really look that good. But coming over here, we have white-tailed deer. So there's two different pens with two different groups of white-tailed deer. Over here we have our females. There's two of them here. In this pen, there's like guest path stuff over here that can be looked at going around to the back, but we're not gonna go there yet. This is kind of a lower quality exhibit, mainly trying to emulate the idea of like a lower budget zoo where they don't have as much material to just give every animal an amazing habitat. But if we go through here, we've got our white-tailed deer here, white-tailed deer are a pretty big part of Alabama. They're pretty common here. I'm pretty sure they're the most common deer. And they're pretty easy to acquire as a starter species, so this is also on our starter species list. So it was pretty fun making this. The idea would also be that these two pens could be swapped out. So over there we have these currently, but maybe they could move to this pen. And speaking of this pen, this is where we keep our male deer. Right now he's just sort of sitting here in the corner. He looks pretty cool though. I like him. He's got a little lake in here. Hanging feeder in the back. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. The backstage areas, I'm not gonna pretend like I know what I'm doing. So normally it's pretty bare bones back here. I would like to learn more about it so that way I can do better. But yeah, over here we have a Virginia opossum. We have a little custom sign here. I thought was pretty fun. It's pretty fun to make, and yeah, it has a little outdoor area and has obviously an indoor area here. Oh, can't go in there without the game wanting me to be on the roof. Okay, let me just get out of explore mode. Come up through here. This would be probably closed sometimes, and then it could be in here, or it could be locked out here if guests or keepers need to come in and mess with stuff. I don't know where the possum is currently. Oh, yeah, in the roof. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's go ahead and move you back down here. Yeah, unfortunately, they do climb through some of the stuff. It's a little annoying, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is. Don't look at this. Over here, once we come around, there's a couple of things that are Not finished. This is going to be alligators, sort of a little swampy exhibit. But currently, it's not finished. I guess this is pretty cool. It's a little viewing platform, which I built. It doesn't look too shabby. Well, it is. Look, it looks shabby, the style, but I don't think it's too shabby in the way I built it. So, yeah, you come in here. There will be alligators. Currently, we have a juvenile alligator, so he's actually not there, and he just stays somewhere else. But eventually, I want to make this an actual good area. Currently, a work in progress. So, now we get to here. Pretty cool building, the Alabama Aqua House. Now, this is a small aquarium type build because I really do like building for fish for some reason. Just a big fish guy. So it was pretty fun working with the fish, especially because of how different they are from like other mods and stuff. But yeah, we have pretty big amount of fish in here. I think there's like 10 different kind of fish in here. And starting off, we have channel catfish in this one. Is there anything else in here? Or is it just channel? I think this is just channel. It's been a little bit, so I don't remember entirely. But yeah, over here, there's some big mouth buffalo. We like to swim around. I feel like the water should, technically the water needs to be more shallow. I probably should fix that, but the swimming kind of breaks if there's not enough deep diving water. So I made it pretty deep. So that's kind of unfortunate, but they are pretty happy there. Over here, we have painted turtles, which aren't actually in the game, so we have just some prop ones there. It works pretty good. We have some theming up on the walls also, and sometimes fish do that. When you come around here, we get into some of the bigger tanks, kind of a big galley. This is inspired by the a lot by the Bass Pro Shop, which actually, if we come around here, I kind of in game like in lore, this would be sponsored by the Bass Pro Shop, which is kind of interesting, kind of some interesting world building going on there. But yeah, over here, we kind of have a mixed tank with a lot of species in it. There's the alligator gar prop bag there. There's a bunch of fish, which I feel like fish are very strange in the fact that you can keep a lot of them together. Like looking at Bass Pro Shop and stuff, a lot of fish live together, so you can have quite a few, and it looks pretty cool. It has a very cool aesthetic to it. Coming in, you know, I've detailed a lot of the inside. Come right here though, obviously you've got a bit of a janky look to it, but we don't have to mention that. And on this side, we also have a lot of fish. There's more channel catfish in here. A few sunfish. There's something else. I think there's some crappies or something. I don't remember. And then, you know, we had differentiate a little bit. Right here, we have some stair stuff, sort of to swap it up a little bit. Swap it, change it, vary the look. You know, kids can come up here, they can step up, get a better look, or over here, maybe kids can look in and kind of like a peephole instead of actual glass over there. And yeah, so moving right along, you come through here, you have your trout. So it's pretty interesting. In here, kind of a colder exhibit, colder fish, so the water kind of looks a little cooler. You can tell like the water like color has been changed just to try to show that it's a little colder, because back here it's sort of muddy and stuff. And then we have jellyfish, which currently, you know, it wouldn't make much sense to have a jellyfish mod. I don't think it'd work too well with any of the current rigs. You know, they just sort of float. So we just sort of have billboards here emulating a little tank, and something here would probably say like talk about how Mobile Bay has jellyfish populations. Pretty much all the species here are pretty native to Alabama. Actually, yeah, there's some. I feel like there's one. You're right. Big mouth buffalo, I'm pretty sure, aren't exactly native here. We do have buffalo fish. I think smallmouth, but if I remember, we don't have a big population of big mouth buffalo, if any. So, other than them, I'm pretty sure every animal in here does have roots in Alabama. So, But yeah, that's everything for this side of the zoo, which was pretty fun. Most of this was the first time I started building. Other than the aqua house, all of this was sort of where I started. And then I came over here to this side where I was sort of planning on newer parts of the zoo. You know, more interesting animals, more interesting builds. Definitely a bit more budget at the time that this stuff was constructed. We have our Bactrian camels over here. First thing you come up against, and they are pretty fun. We have three, I want to say, three, four maybe. They were also a starter species. So what we have here is this one big open habits enclosure pen. I don't know the exact word for it. And then over here we have one more secluded in case they need to be, if they're shy, if they don't feel like going out in front of a lot of people, they can hide back here. Obviously these could open and close depending on the day, what the keepers need to do. And then coming around here, there's a bit of a, there's supposed to be a door here. I feel like, yeah, okay, I didn't put the door there, so ignore that. In here we have a bit of a cage here, exhibit. I'm pretty sure these are functional. I'm pretty sure they can go through here. I'm not completely sure on that, but I'm fairly certain. This was pretty fun to build. It's like I said, I'm not the best at backstage areas, so it's a little lackluster, but for me I was pretty proud of it when I built it. And yeah, this is one of the earlier ones I built. So yeah, it was a starter species obviously. And then coming around here, we have Ringtailed Lemurs, which, yeah, currently they aren't the happiest right now because they're all together in there, but yeah, we have, I think, four. I think we have one male, three females. Maybe it's two females. Can't quite remember. Yeah, it's three. And there's a little bit of room here for maybe if we want to put another lemur species in. Obviously, there's not much theming going on here, which I feel like it's okay for this because obviously it's a lower budget zoo. Sometimes animals just get thrown in, especially on zoos that aren't exactly, you know, not every zoo can be like the San Diego Zoo or anything. So I thought it was pretty interesting here. And yeah. So, moving on this way. This right here is a building that isn't quite done. It's going to house insects and classrooms. More so classrooms than actual like bugs. We can just go in. It's not finished, so, but we'd have like classrooms and stuff, and then also insects can be housed back here. A lot of terrariums. We don't have this many insects. We have a couple of like tarantulas currently and some isopods, but yeah, it's a little room for that. Obviously, these would be animals probably used to show off to like classrooms and stuff, and there'd probably be like a little area in here, maybe a rest area, bathrooms and stuff for people. But yeah, over here we get to our mixed habitat. We have ostriches in here and guinea fowl somewhere. I don't know where they are. Are they boxed up? They're supposed to be guinea fowl in here. I definitely put them in. I don't know what happened to them. But they're supposed to be, but right now they're not. So have the ostrich here. Look at him. He's pretty cool. He's a solitary male ostrich. And we have guinea fowl in here too, whenever the mod's actually in the game or whatever, which I guess I didn't do. And then yeah, circling back around here, we have meerkats. We have a little hole here that you can look in. This definitely needs to be 2 doors. I just never got around to it. This is definitely, it's a little janky because I do try to work with the mechanics of the game, which maybe I shouldn't do. So I do put in like, you know, water feeders, water things and everything. And yeah, sometimes it bites me in the butt like there. Let me go in here. Like here, you know, obviously I don't think this would be what they do, but it was the only thing that fit, so. But yeah, so coming around here, you know, you have outdoor area. Definitely would be moved from this exhibit whenever it's winter time, because that would be really cold for meerkats. And yeah, we're gonna keep going now. Over to the new and improved flamingo exhibit. So obviously over there on the other side we saw that really janky looking one. Now we have a janky one over here that looks bigger. So we have, I think we have 10 flamingos, adults, and then babies. I can't quite remember the exact amount. I need to get back into it. It has been a few months since I've actually worked on this, and I do want to get back to it, which is why I'm making this, so that I can make content off of it, and then I can double down on... Why are they all floating? That's not where the water is. Okay, what was I saying? We're gonna get back around. I'm trying to get back into it. I feel like making videos on it will probably help me a little bit. That way I can at least make content out of it and feel like I'm doing two things at once. So yeah, over here, extra area to view. That wraps back around. But if we come over this side, there's a final exhibit which is not done in the sides, but I'll show it anyways because you know what? It is a cool looking thing. This is not even in this isn't even in the like ZSU newsroom or whatever that I have, which I keep talking about the ZSU, but if you don't know anything about it, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about. I will try to do better in the future if I ever do anything else with this. I will explain more. But yeah, we have Thompson gazelles over here, a little group here. We actually got these from an event. It was a Christmas event. Yeah, if I recall, it was a Christmas event where you had animals on your wish list. These were pretty high on my wish list. They are pretty cool. We also received alligator gar from that and big mouth buffalo, so that was pretty fun. But this is going to be the start of a African section, a bit higher budget, as you can see. It looks a bit more polished. Well, polished by my standard, not by like actual good players' standards. It is a bit more polished, and it looks a little better. A bit more thought was put into like everything, I feel like. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting small little area. We have our guys there, and yeah, that's about it. So I mean, it's definitely not the best zoo ever, but it is one of the zoos of all time. And yeah, I definitely want to like fix some stuff, some issues where it just sort of feels disconnected in some areas. That's pretty much it for the zoo. It's a pretty small zoo. We definitely don't have any big name animals, I guess. We have alligators. But yeah, like I said, the idea is that it's a smaller zoo, and I want it to grow into a little bit of a bigger zoo. I don't think it'll ever end up trying to be anything like the San Diego Zoo or Cincinnati, but it will be a pretty sizable, average size zoo. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. So, goodbye.